My name is Cassy Summers. Welcome to the Curious Universe podcast. Welcome everyone to this special episode. I have a wonderful guest on today, Dan Von Borstel. Did I say it right? I think I got it right.
Yes.
Yes. And what I would love to explore with you today, my wonderful friend, is thriving. I've noticed just the way that you talk and engage with people, you always actually have this energy of like life and living and thrival going on. And even when things seem to be like difficult, there's still this energy of what else is possible? What else is possible in your world? It's really like inspiring to be around. So could you talk to us a little bit about what would you say, what is thriving? What is it to have a thriving life?
Well, thank you for the invitation, and thanks everybody listening to this amazing podcast. Keep inviting people to Casey's podcast because it's just truly amazing. And thank you for all what you said. It wasn't always like that. So I actually have to give a shout out to Access and everybody in Access, including you, which every person that I met since I started it, I demanded to get the best out of any facilitator. And that became my reality. I wasn't as positive as college in this reality before. I wasn't also bright and shiny. Yes, I've been maybe popular or known or whatever, though I was in a different space. So it's being a demand of me of requesting and also gifting the best of me and the best of every situation. And acknowledging that thriving, it is having the best on every area of my life and enjoying it, being fully present, whatever it shows up. There's times that I'm still smiling, though it's not pretty. It doesn't look good. It's feeling in my body so different and so weird. Though I have acknowledged and demanded myself to put a smile on it. At least putting a smile in me, in my reality, it does shift the energy. It does become a catalyst of joy everywhere you go. Like I always say, because I do it everywhere I go. Like if I'm running in the marina or if I'm at the supermarket, I always smile to somebody, even if they have like the worst attitude ever. I always give them a smile. And that changes realities. And that might be the only person in their day actually give them a smile. And that to me is creating consciousness, creating a wave of joy in my universe. And to me is a contribution for me and for them. And also a reminder to me that everything in life comes to us with ease, joy, and glory. It's my reality. Yes, I get distracted. Yes, sometimes I forget. Yes, sometimes I go into places. But hey, it's me living in this planet. So, and acknowledge that thriving is just a choice also. And with the tools, I can make a totally different reality, a totally different experience out of everything. Because in all this time that I've been using the tools, I just get that using the tools really fast, one after the other until it becomes light. That is truly the path to thriving to me.
Yeah. Oh, so many brilliant things you just said there. And I love the choosing happy, choosing thrival. I noticed for myself when I've slipped into like, I'm just going to get through this, or I can survive this. I'm not, that's a good indication. Like I've lost my joy. I'm not choosing thriving. I'm choosing surviving in that moment. And I'm like, oh, if I was really thriving right now, even if this isn't the situation that I wish it would be, I would still have my joy, my happiness, my enthusiasm for living. So what's like one of the tools, if you're in that moment of like, you talked about tools, what's one of your favorite tools that you use to like get into that thrival energy?
The one that in my world right now that it took me a long time to use, but it's making a quick fast and I change.
Oh, it's breaking up a lot.
Everything is everything is the opposite of what it appears to be. Nothing is the opposite of what it appears to be. And I'm every single day, I am choosing like a challenge, I call it, still, of who does this belong to? Because everything I define that is mine, it is not, because it's already in my mind. So those two is the ones that it took me the most to use them, but it's creating a dynamic change. And also one of the ones that I started using that also make a great change was demanding to move from space to space, to choose from a space to another space, from not feeling anything. Oh, like for example, I'm going to put a really interesting example and something it took me a long time to decide to see it because I didn't want to see anything related to relationships. So when I got there, I finally went into deep the relationship topic. I was like, dude, first the relationship is with you. Embody the 5 elements of intimacy with you, and then let's see what else can you create. Though, in order for me to get there, I was like, okay, I met somebody, and then it was like, oh, so sexy, so delicious, this is gonna be great. It's like, dude, you're in jails, past juniors, conclusions, decisions, computations, stories, lies, BBRs. So all of that, part of I'll destroy and create, and it was like, okay, what space can I be? What space will be more nurturing for everybody in this experience, and choose from there. And yes, also, as much as I hate him, ask the 5 questions. Like, is it gonna be easy? Is it gonna make you money? Is he or she gonna be grateful? Blah blah blah. Which sometimes when I was like in the money thing, it was like no, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna pass that. And then I realized it wasn't creating greater, or wasn't creating, or was stopping me from some creation, or creating some different reality rather than thriving. So it was basically a survival of relationships, or going by relationships, or like, oh, okay, so this is my comfort zone. So, because right now, comfort zone to me is like, hell no, not today, Satan. If I feel comfortable, I'm moving on. Yes, because to me, the comfort zone is so sticking me to everything in my life, because I got this awareness that if all the molecules are connected, if we're oneness, but everything is transforming dynamically every nanosecond, why wouldn't my body and my being transform as equal? And if I have something that is limiting, destroying, or stopping that from happening, it is me and it's not contributing. So I just try to create that and dynamically choose change, transforming, transmuting, however you call it in your universe. Though that's one of my demands. And also putting my attention on me of what I want to create. Ooh, it was hard, honestly. To me, it was hard. Now it's easy. But one of the things that got me to thriving, making like a life inventory and making an inventory of the things, material things that I want to physically actualize in my life, and how I want to look in my body and feel in my body and move in this universe as my body, and then don't make it significant. Out of control, out of limitation, out of linear concentricity, and so forth. That has given me so easy. I always give this example. My first CF training, I was in a spot of like, I don't want to go. I facilitate super violent to people, and access is like zero violence. Why would I yell at people? What won't be allowance? I'm not going to do it. And then obviously it was like, I still had to buy some of the telecalls and things like that. So it was a money issue too. And until I was willing to see it, I was like, oh, and it was as easy as to making an estimate of how much I needed. And I created it within a day, but I didn't create that because I went all the way to Maestro. So I created the money in a day from CF training to Maestro. So it was like, oh, so I can do this in every area of my life, and that will give me ease. So everywhere I wasn't acknowledging that the power is within me, that the magic is me, that the power of my choice is what creates miracles, I destroy and uncreate it. And I always invite people to do it. And it might sound sometimes really like, oh yeah, like I get a lot of people like, oh, it's so easy. You have horses, you have this, you have your family that you just can pull up. Like, I don't ask my family for money. Well, now I do because I don't have a point of view. But but before I didn't. It was like, ooh, I'm the powerful. I don't need anybody. I can do it on my own. And another thing was like, why would I reject my family's inheritance just because I don't want to be in trouble with my brothers? I'm going into the future that doesn't exist. So I also realized that every expectation that we have, or like right now, what we're talking about in Access is like those presumptive realities. Everything that I know, it's a fact. And I concluded and I take it for granted that that fact, that conclusion is going to happen. It gets you to a process of compressed reality. So my easiest tool is like every time I acknowledge that I'm either aligning and agreeing, rejecting and reacting, I'm going into this reality. I want to live in an expansive reality. The tool is lower my walls and barriers and expand out. So those are my day-to-day tools for every day, anytime, at all times.
Dan, you seem to really do a lot of like self-reflection and kind of asking questions. Like even when you talked about the relationship thing of like, oh, I'm going into all of this. And a lot of people don't naturally do that. Did you work on that? Or were you always just kind of asking questions and wondering like, how am I functioning here? Is this expanding? Is this contracting?
Thank you for that, because it just gave me the awareness of how to respond to that question. Exactly what I did without going into a cognitive way. Through so many foundations that I attended and so many that I have facilitated, I dynamically choose to embody the 5 elements of intimacy. Because I honestly, and this what I'm going to say right now is something I just started a couple of weeks ago. I didn't love myself, whatever love that means to me, without a distractor implant. Because love is not something that it's only like a bad thing or it's a distractor implant. If it's something to me, and I'm talking about me, to me, that knowing that I can love, take care, put myself first, that created a totally different Dan, a totally different being. And I can share me with less effort. And I believe, and I know I am a better gift. And also recognizing that I am a gift, that I did work on really hard. So the 5 elements of intimacy, at the beginning, I didn't believe. I just asked the question, what energy, space, and consciousness can it be to embrace the 5 elements of intimacy? But I didn't truly believe that until it was like moving on to a a space where I was like, that doesn't work for me. I honor myself. And I'm not going to go into that space. I'm allowing you to be you, and I allow myself to be me. So I'm taking my attention to this other side. So yeah, thank you for that, because to me, it's that part when and that's how I live. That's how I facilitate even. I always say, this is how it works for me. This is how I do it. This is an example I'm putting on. How will it be for you? And honestly, I don't facilitate much. What would it take to facilitate more? I love it. Though, yeah, I put a lot of my attention on what I want to create in my life. And it's hard sometimes even to get to the space of, what am I asking? Hey, dude, yeah, you follow the energy, but when you put your attention in something, you create it. You put your attention on something and it will grow. You put an attention on being a better athlete with the horses, then you're going to upgrade your sport and things like that. And in all honesty, like, I do sessions for X-Men babies and kids on the weekends with the horses. And that has also, the horses always show you this is space of truly allowance, of none of that crap of judgments, yells, but junior conclusions, none of that uncomfortable energy. So demanding of me to be in that and asking the universe for ease with that. And also the X-Men babies show me that the whole session you can be is joy and glory, that you can be really joyful, and that it's okay to be brave and enthusiastic everywhere at all times. That is something that I'm willing to be at all times.
That's so beautiful. I actually wanted to know more about your horses. I didn't know that you did that with X-Men kids. So amazing. What have the horses shown you about like thriving?
Gary just asked me that question, and my response was like, don't start me in there. It's just amazing. I was like, okay, I get it. Because he knows I won't stop talking. But yeah, the first thing that horses show me was that judgment, especially with me, it's a lie and unnecessary. It's just a waste of time in a kind way. Then that everywhere I conclude that something will happen, or I expect something to happen, like at the beginning when I did classes, I remember, I had this class with 40 people. Now I'm going to have 400. Where is the question there? And then 2 or 3 people show up to my class, and I was like, I'm wrong. I'm not fit enough. I'm not looking good. I'm not blah, blah, blah. And the horses were like, what's with you? And they show you elegance, potency, power, grace, flexibility. Like my horses, sometimes they just stretch and they're like doing yoga positions like I've never seen a horse do. And I'm like, really? And I'm like, oh, okay, so I have to get back to yoga or things like that. They show you such a different energy, always in an energy that will nurture you, nurture them, engaged with nature. So, and I always say to people, you don't have to own a horse. You don't have to go to riding classes to receive from horses. You don't even have to touch them. Everywhere you are, there's always a horse, and you can just talk to them. Go talk to them in telepathy, mouth, whatever you want to do it. Everything is energy, and they will. And this is something I read and know from all the books that I read from horses, which one of my things I like to do is buy like super old books about horses, and all of them, they have a common denominator, and is that horses didn't came to this planet to work or for sports or to nothing. They came here to contribute to mankind, to heal, to move you the energy, to show you a different way of living. And that is being such a journey. I totally invite you to go with a horse or hang out near horses and engage the way you are. You always know how to do it. You always know how to thrive. Thriving for you, it's totally different from anybody else. Whatever works for you, what's light for you, it's not going to be light for everybody. So follow your light. And yes, if horses are around, it is amazing. And I'm giving you just a little piece of what you can get from horses. Everybody can get different things. And I even seen people talk to their parents and release things about their past that have been there for 30, 40 years. My aunt like clear out so many things, and it is a totally different reality. And honestly, horses do their own thing. They're pure magic. And one of the things is like, I adore the access tools. And hey, Gary says, everything I know, I learned from a horse.
Yeah.
So how does it get any better than this?
That's so beautiful. Well, I think that was such a wonderful way actually to wrap up the show and just talk about there's so many nuggets. I think this is maybe one of those ones where people are going to want to listen to a couple times. So thank you for being on here and sharing your space of living and what you've chosen, because it is really different and really beautiful. So thanks for being here and chatting with us.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And it is okay to be you. It is okay to be whatever you choose. So I'm super, super grateful, and I hope to see you very soon.
Yes! Bye for now, guys. Thank you for exploring the curious universe with me. Your curiosity matters. And what if together we could create a greater, more curious world?